Karina, have you ever heard the line, "Are you really going into the office again?"
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? They're right. I am a dedicated creative studio guilty mom nerd. I'm in the office a lot, but you also have to understand it's both my workplace as well as my sanctuary. You know, I have a soon-to-be 6-year-old, and my ears are full all the time. So yes, I confess, sometimes I flee to my playthings, my musical instruments, my creative tools. I do. My studio office is the only room in the house that it's solely mine. But it can also be a trap. Like Frederick is tucking Hannah in, and I think, well, just one tiny email, or let's get that thing on the roll. Just that tiny thing. And by then, my family is already rolling their eyes because they know I'm about to ghost them for the next hour. Welcome to Big Dreams and Little Things, the podcast for creatives, solopreneurs, and ambitious humans who want to move from stuck to thriving through daily, doable action. I'm Karina Camp, creative entrepreneur that loves to see the world as her oyster.
And I'm Maria Vronsky-Ellis. Each week, we explore how small shifts can lead to big change. And today, we're asking the big question, where do we draw the line? And how can we learn to find a healthy balance? Or maybe I should say, healthier balance. Entrepreneurs are known for trying to do too many things at once because we're eager, driven, and honestly, we want everything to move faster than it can.
But that eagerness can become a trap, especially today when laptops and Wi-Fi mean the office isn't a place anymore. It's everywhere. Suddenly working from home becomes living at work. And where do we work? How do we draw the line, and what's healthy?
But before we start our topic of today, this is actually the season premiere. We're back with season 2.
Yes, fanfare!
Yeah, it should be a big fanfare there.
Good job.
Thank you. And how are you, Karina? How was your Paris trip?
Yes, I came back home yesterday, and we've had actually our honeymoon 2 years later. And we did everything from Moulin Rouge, like the touristy things, took a tour bus just to, around town, to the art tour of Montmartre, where I could really dig deep into Victorine, of course, and we visited her, the Olympia painting and I met Eunice, who wrote the book that got me all into it. And that was so lovely.
I'm so glad you got the chance to do that. And I know you've been looking forward to it for a while now.
So we could just, sit down and talk, the two of us, which is very nice.
And you can have the silence as well, just the two of you, which means a lot.
It does. But it was lovely to see her yesterday. I hugged her for a very long time. And what about you? You've had big things happening.
Oh my gosh. My life is still a whirlwind, I feel, because yes, we moved a week and a half ago, but I'm still living in a house full of boxes.
Yes. And it's yours. It's yours.
It's ours. And I will enjoy it eventually. Right now, it's too much going on. My girl started school. There's all that balance happening, but all good stuff. The sun is shining. So I feel like I could do with a few days just away somewhere on the beach, lying down.
I hope you get that. Let's jump into today's episode because it's so jam-packed with good stuff. Let's look at someone who experienced it firsthand. Arianna Huffington.
When you hear the name Arianna Huffington, you probably think of a powerful, confident businesswoman, co-founder of the Huffington Post, the independent alternative news blog that became a worldwide go-to news site. She's a best-selling author, political commentator, and one of Time magazine's 100 most influential people in the world. But in 2007, at the very height of her success, Arianna's life came to a dramatic halt. She was running the Huffington Post at full speed, working around the clock, chasing growth, managing a team, and saying yes to every demand. From the outside, she looked unstoppable, but behind the scenes, her pace was unsustainable. One day, in the middle of her home office, Arianna simply collapsed. She hit the floor, breaking her cheekbone and cutting her eye. Doctors ran tests for heart problems and neurological issues, but the truth was simpler and scarier. She had collapsed from exhaustion and sleep deprivation. It was a shocking wake-up call. Arianna later admitted that she had been pushing herself far beyond healthy limits, fueled by the cultural belief that hustling harder, working longer, and sleeping less were signs of ambition and success. But her body had delivered the final verdict: enough. That moment sparked a radical shift. Instead of ignoring the crash and powering through, Arianna began asking deeper questions. What if success isn't just about money and achievement? What if it also has to include well-being, wisdom, and wonder? She went on to write a book called Thrive, where she redefined success not as a two-legged stool of money and power, but as a three-legged stool that also included well-being. And she founded Thrive Global, a company dedicated to helping people build healthier relationships with work, technology, and themselves. What's so striking about Arianna's story is this. Here was a woman who had made it by every conventional standard, and yet the very habits that fueled her rise, endless work, constant availability, the belief she could do it all, nearly destroyed her. Her collapse became her turning point. And maybe that's the takeaway for us as entrepreneurs today. The line between passion and overwork is very thin. The office is always with us, in our laptops, our pockets, even our bedsides. It can feel noble, even exhilarating to keep going. But if we don't draw the line ourselves, eventually our bodies will draw it for us. I mean, what I really can see in myself listening to Arianna's story is the importance of listening to your body. When your body telling you you're working too much, you're stressing too much, if it goes too far, it will shut down. And that happened to me shortly after I had my second child. My husband was away constantly, and I was looking after a 2-year-old and a baby. And I woke up one morning and I just couldn't move.
Wow.
I got a fever and I just couldn't move. That was a sign. Luckily, I think that was during a period when my husband came back for a few days or a week. So he took full responsibility. I remember I slept on the sofa. He was with the kids. Mm-hmm. I slept on the sofa and just slept for about a week.
And you should say your husband is touring, so that's why he's away.
Yeah, he's touring with artists and bands. So he's away a lot. And that was obviously, it's a challenging time as it is, having a baby and a 2-year-old at the same time. But yeah, that for me was an eye-opener. It's like, oh my God, yeah, I can't just push my body like that, like I had been, no sleep and constantly on. Starting season 2, I feel like autumn is always a new start, a fresh start to things. I'm going to start setting limits to my office time. And I mean, yes, like you, my office is also my sanctuary, but I mean office when I'm actually working.
Yeah, and actually we wouldn't be authentic if we didn't live as we speak. And
no, very true, very true.
So what we want to do is that we want to do 60% each on this endeavor of ours, which means 120% for the business, or whatever we want to call it. Business sounds so harsh, but it is a business, of course, and a creative endeavor.
Yeah.
And then it's very important to do our creative stuff, because that's what we do as well. And you have a book that's coming out, right?
Yeah, I have a book. I need to go deeper into my songwriting and musical projects. So it's yes, we have other things that needs to be done as well to be authentic and true to this project as well.
And as I talked about when I talked about Paris, I went to visit Victorine. I've talked about her in episode 7, I think, of last season. But just before I left, I also contacted my writing coach. So I'm going to meet her in a few weeks, and we're starting up work on the musical. So that's what I'm going to finish.
That's fantastic. Yes, it will be finished.
Yes, it will. And I'm so inspired now with all the,
I can imagine
walking by the building she lived in and where she worked and all of that. But what happens when the office becomes your home or vice versa? This is nothing new for creatives, because I think we've lived this way for centuries in one way or the other. But nowadays, everyone can bring the office wherever they go. And that's different. You always have it with you. It's right there on your phone or on a portable computer. And creative ideas, they come all the time. And as creatives, we also fed this romanticized view of the starving artist who wakes up in the middle of the night and has to work, that kind of thing. But we idolize, not just artists, but everyone idolize working a lot. And I think that people have gotten more knowledgeable. We know we need to rest. We know what to do to be healthy. But do we actually do it? And here's the thing. With women's physical, hormonal bodies, we're more sensitive to stress and that kind of lifestyle. Yeah. We really are. And that's just the thing.
Yeah, we are.
So how are we holding up?
That's so true. I mean, I made a conscious decision to not add our work emails to my phone. And that was on purpose, because I am not going to bring it with me everywhere I go, because that means I will always work. I work when I'm in the office. Of course, I get ideas and I document that if I get ideas, but work happens in my office. I don't want to be constantly checking my work emails when I'm with my children. I want to be a present mom. I want to be there, because it's so short. Time will go so quick and they're no longer at home. And what will they remember? That's I really want to nurture and create that really close relationship.
But don't you get that pull though? With being a present mom and also being the creative. And sometimes I feel like I am not present because I am being pulled, not because of an email, but because of an idea I get, or because...
A creative idea you can sort of document quite quickly. You can, if it's a melody idea you get, or you can just write it, type it down, or you can record it like a voice memo really quickly.
So those are great ideas, actually, that you're saying here. Keep a log, like in your phone, or have a book, or you can put down a voicemail. That's a great way. Yeah. So you're giving good ideas here, and to find a structure that works for you.
Yeah.
We've gone back to Charlotte's and Tonya's. She said that too, the to-do list. And I've started to do that, to put 3 things on top of my to-do list.
I need to have that as well. I need to have each day, like, what is it that absolutely needs to be done today?
Yeah, big dreams and small steps. But what does science say about this? Now I'm really curious, because we're not alone doing this. That's why we're talking about it. So let's look at the science section.
Yes, and there's something called the Zeigarnik effect, named after Russian psychologist Bluma Zeigarnik. It shows that our brains hold on to unfinished tasks. It will keep them on top of mind in creating mental tension until it's completed. This explains why we feel compelled to check just one more email or think about a report we haven't finished. Unfinished tasks literally keep buzzing in the background, stealing attention and reducing focus, something I can really relate to. Research suggests that this effect can drive both motivation and procrastination, and managing it through clear goals, small task segments, and timely closure helps protect focus and reduce mental fatigue.
I can so relate to this. And what comes up for me is especially at night, if I have lots of things that I need to do and I haven't written them down or, structured them, it keeps buzzing in my head and I have trouble falling asleep. So I keep a little notebook by my bedside. If something comes up, I can always write it down and that actually eases my mind. So that, what was it called again? This Zeigarnik. Zeigarnik effect. It sounds strong. Yeah. Well, as we all know, modern technology makes it almost impossible to switch off. I'm going to get to that. Every email ping, Slack notification, or social media alert triggers a dopamine hit, reinforcing the brain's anticipation of reward. This variable reward schedule keeps us checking constantly, creating continuous partial attention. We're never fully present when we're switching tasks repeatedly and paying a cognitive switching cost each time. Yeah, I've heard it takes 20 minutes or something to refocus. Studies show this increases cortisol, reduces focus and creativity, and contributes to mental fatigue and burnout. For entrepreneurs especially, whose passion blurs the line between work and life, as we've talked about. Understanding this loop is key. Small boundaries, batch checking messages, and intentional downtime let the brain recover, boost productivity, and protect relationships.
Yeah. We spoke about this as well, didn't we, with Charlotte? Yeah. How important it is to just really focus on the one thing. Put the phone in another room if you have a hard time with that. Switch off your emails and just get into it. I so agree with that. And there is a kicker to it because science, you can't just keep working because science shows that recovery time is critical. Without downtime, productivity doesn't just plateau, it actually drops. Creativity suffers, problem solving becomes harder, and your relationships feel the strain because you're never fully present. Your brain needs these pauses to process, consolidate, and to reset.
Yeah, we've touched on that in many of our episodes, in the morning routines, in gratitude, embracing change, the art of letting go, but also in the comeback season. And I just saw this Swedish health professional since I've been on vacation, and I've been stressing a lot, so I've gained a little bit of weight. And he was just saying that if you don't sleep enough, if you don't take that downtime, and that raises your cortisol, just as we said, that stops your metabolism.
It's such a trap, especially for women, the cortisol thing, you don't understand, and then you're trying to eat less or exercise more, but unless you reduce that cortisol level, it's not going to happen.
No, and he's really good. If you're Swedish listening to his company is called Ryu, Johannes Kullberg. If you're thinking about writing that email late at night or, skipping an hour of sleep, well, that's going to bite you in the end.
So each week here at Big Dreams and Little Things, we take on a tiny experiment. And a tiny experiment should be purposeful and joyous and actionable enough that it doesn't feel overwhelming. You should be able to build momentum and it should be trackable so you can actually see after what happened or maybe what didn't happen. But it's all for fun and
learn.
And learn, exactly.
Yeah. So nothing is, as you say, failure. It is learning.
For my tiny experiment, I decided to ask myself one open-ended question each day. Sometimes at the beginning of the day, and sometimes at the end of the day. One of the questions I asked myself is, where did I step outside my comfort zone recently and what did I gain? Because it's so easy to follow patterns, right? We're not always keen on putting ourselves in that sort of uncomfortable place. And I noticed that I've been getting closer to people because I'm pushing myself in social settings.
Cool.
I am such an introvert. And it's easier for me to not get into certain social situations. I prefer to stick to familiar faces, right? But I've been really pushing myself to go up and talk to new people. After doing it, just feels really energizing and I feel like I'm really growing as a person.
It can be such a growth from there.
It is. It really is. And also, like instilling new relationships. You know, it's so easy, but that yet so difficult for someone who's an introvert like I am.
I just have to say, I think that's difficult for most people. I wouldn't say that I'm an introvert. I'm one of those extrovert, what they call.
Yeah.
I can be extremely extrovert, but I can also be extremely introvert. I can be extremely stupid sometimes when it comes to that. I'm like, oh, there's that person. I'd really like to talk to him or her. And then and I have the chance to do it. And then I'm like, no, you know. But when I do it, I really, you know, it feels good. Whatever comes out of it, just expanding like that is so good. So good for you.
Overall, this simple daily reflection helped me to slow down. It helped me to pay attention and notice more, and also take small actions that I usually overlook.
So did you have a list of questions already prepared?
No. That was the thing. It's like, okay, think of a question now. What is the question that I need today? You know, I think that was part of the thing for me.
That's wonderful.
Moving on, I'm going to do something totally different. My new tiny experiment is learning the guitar.
Wonderful.
That I've owned for about 15 years, probably.
I'm the same way.
This time around, I have a physical teacher.
Wonderful. Yes.
That I actually go and see.
So have you started?
I started yesterday, and I have 4 chords to practice. I'm doing the lesson together with another mom and friend.
Great. I'm actually picking up my guitar this fall as well.
Yes,
so
we'll be playing for you on one episode soon.
Yes, and also those of you that are Swedish, of course, Charlotte has her guitar course, which is great for singing with children. That's wonderful, Maria. Yes, and let's inspire each other. And it's important. The tiny experiments aren't about success or failure, as we say. They're experiments. And the tiny experiments shouldn't just be good for you. It has to feel pleasurable. Big Dreams and Little Things is not just about talking. It's about action, and we really want to walk with you on your creative and entrepreneurial way. And if today's episode resonates with you, we'd love for you to join us at our next free live workshop on September 23rd.
And this month, we're focusing on finding your voice, how to show up authentically in your work. And it's part of our free monthly workshop series, designed to help you stay accountable and to really make real progress and connect with other like-minded people.
We'll introduce the ACTA method. It's a simple human approach to structure, rhythm, and accountability that actually works in real life. Not just on paper. You'll leave with practical tools, actionable steps, and clarity on how to show up as your true self in your work.
And it's interactive, supportive, and it's completely free. So whether you're looking for growth, connection, or maybe just a little inspiration, it's the perfect space to explore your next steps.
And you can sign up online at ectahub.net. We'd love to see you there and help you take the next step toward authentic progress. So, where do we draw the line? It's not about never going into the office again, but maybe it's about knowing when to step out and who you're stepping out for.
And you just have to remember, passion for your work doesn't have to mean guilt at home. If you set yourself boundaries, intention, and maybe even a tiny experiment or two, you can love both your business and your family or your people at home.
Yes, and we've learned through science that you need that downtime, and you need that creativity, and you need both. We have some big news we're really excited to share. You know by now how much we believe in community and in walking this crooked, roundabout road of life and creation together. So this season we're trying something new. We call it Reflection Weeks. Every other week we'll bring you a shorter, more intimate space, a moment to sit down, reflect on the last episode, follow up on the tiny experiment, ask a few curious questions, and share honestly what we and you, our listeners, are learning. Because we don't want to show up as perfect experts. We want to show up as humans, sometimes messy and sometimes shining like stars, celebrating small wins and being open about the struggles too. And the best part, You'll now get big dreams and little things every single week, alternating between our jam-packed thematic episodes and these new reflection weeks. This season has so many goodies in store. Next week is our first reflection, but on October 3rd, our next thematic episode drops, and we'll be talking about something close to our hearts: authenticity. What does it mean to be authentic? Is it lost in 2025 when AI can polish every word and perfect every image? We don't think so. We believe there are things you can never copy, like your vulnerability, your flaws, your humanity, and your quirky, one-of-a-kind way of seeing the world. We'll dig into science, share stories as always, and open up this important conversation together. So stay tuned.
So, thank you for being with us in this first episode of the new season. And remember to follow us on social media at bigdreams.ekta and sign up and join us for the workshop on September 23rd.
And sign up for the weekly letter of inspiration, Backstage Wednesday. It's all on www.ektahub.net. And also, if you like this show, share it with a friend. It means the world to us, and it means that we can keep doing it. Remember,
show up,
speak up, and
never skip the victory dance.
We're officially launched for season 2.
Hey, we were supposed to have our own victory dance too. That's coming.
Worse on that.
Is what life is all about. It's the
danceable that
take you through the day.
We'll try.
From a stranger.
Yes.
That
Thanks for today.
Thank you.